everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tilly and I'm a strength and conditioning coach and an exercise scientist. Today we're going to be talking about something so important. We're going to be talking about sleep. Now I know all of you are probably already aware of how integral sleep is to our lives and our overall well-being, but today I'm going to give you some really specific examples of how to improve your sleep, as well as talk to you about how it affects your sport performance. As always guys, it would be amazing if you could like and subscribe. It would be wonderful to see some support. Now let's get into it. So like I said, sleep is an integral part of our life and particularly our training process. It's a really key thing that we need to talk about in respect to elite athletes, because studies reporting global sleep quality show that between 50 to 78% of elite athletes experience sleep disturbances, and 22 to 26% of them suffer from highly disturbed sleep. And I mean, at the upper end, 78%, that's really high. At the lower end, that's over half of our athletes who struggle with sleep. But sleep is a form of passive recovery, so that just means that we don't have to do anything. And as a rule, athletes generally require between 9 to 10 hours of sleep per night. Now I know you're probably thinking, that's a lot, and it is, but I'll explain more about why in a second. 80 to 90% of those 9 to 10 hours should be undertaken at night. Now, chronic sleep disturbances can result in reductions in both aerobic and anaerobic sporting performance, so they can affect both our endurance and our strength and power performance. In actuality, it's been previously reported that only one night of poor sleep is enough to cause a negative impact on our sports performance. I've said performance too many times in a row now. Fewer hours of sleep can also increase your likelihood of injury. If you have a look here, this work from this paper shows that when we get 9 hours of sleep, our likelihood of injury is pretty low. But as soon as we get less than 8 hours, it seems to go up much higher. On a really kind of semi-related note, but one time my mom took me to the doctors and was like, this child is sleeping way too much. And the doctor was like, yeah, nothing's wrong. Some people just need more sleep. So 9 hours would not be a challenge for me, but it absolutely may be for some people. But I mean, sleep can do way more than keep us safe. It can help improve our reaction times and how we respond to certain situations. In this amazing study, we can see some basketball players who underwent a period of sleep extensions. As a result of more sleep, their reaction times were much faster. Or as the study puts it, their psychomotor vigilance task performance improved. That sounds much fancier. Amazingly, in this same study, they also explored sprint times. You can see here that some of the athletes were actually able to shave off almost 2 seconds from their sprint time in just 40 days. This is fucking crazy. It's crazy because the athletes that they were using in this study were NCAA. So it's not like they were untrained and benefiting from newbie gains. These were athletes with a fair bit of training experience under their belt, able to shave off 2 seconds from their sprint time. 2 seconds! And this isn't all. The same study showed that when we extended the athlete's sleep time from a baseline of 6 to 9 hours to a minimum of 10 hours per night, their free throw performance improved, their 3-point field goal performance improved, and really importantly, the athletes perceived themselves to be performing better. And I don't really have to tell you the ramifications of thinking that you're doing well in terms of your confidence and your psychosocial well-being. But now we've seen some of those good bits, so we've seen how it can improve our performance there. I wanted to share with you a little bit more of the sciencey stuff that showcases some of the bad bits. Now this diagram here shows how sleep deprivation and restriction can affect our skeletal muscle metabolism. You can see that when we don't sleep enough, our catabolic hormones increase, and these are the hormones that break down muscles. Myostatin, which is also a part of that catabolic group, is a protein. It downregulates muscle hypertrophy, so it's kind of like a blocker to muscle hypertrophy. So you see, when we don't sleep enough, we get increases in that myostatin response. And ultimately what this leads to is muscle atrophy, worse recovery capacity, worse satellite cell proliferation, fusion, and differentiation. And this is a bummer. But just as a quick little short note, you can skip ahead if satellite cells don't interest you. Satellite cells are something in our body that have 3 main roles. They generate new fibers in the case of myofiber development, so muscle fiber development, or they repair damaged segments of mature muscle fibers in response to after injury. They also contribute new myonuclei to the existing muscle fibers in the case of hypertrophy, and they generate new daughter cells to maintain or add to the current satellite cell pool. But that's enough of that. So what can we do about this? If you're a bad sleeper or you're just not good at getting enough sleep, there are a few tips and tricks that I can give you to try and improve on this. There are some researchers here, it's all linked below, but Walsh et al. Made this amazing diagram that showcases all the possible things that affect sleep. So you can see here that we've got the sporting and the non-sporting factors. So targeting any one of these areas could be really integral into helping us improve our sleep. Feel free to pause that if you want to have a look at that in more detail. I also want to thank my partner for collating a lot of these tips and tricks that you're going to see today. He put it together for the athletes when we both worked at Hong Kong Lacrosse. So let's start by looking at nutrition. First of all, we want to limit our caffeine intake at night because it's going to keep us awake, right? Yeah, duh. We don't want to drink too much water because that could mean that we're getting up more in the middle of the night to pee. I'm not saying dehydrate yourself though, because that's the same reason you're going to wake up to drink water. You want to try and find that happy medium or that happy balance. We also want to try our best to decrease our alcohol intake, particularly if we're needing to perform well. I mean, I've got a whole video about how alcohol affects your performance, so please go check that out if you have the time. If you remember at the beginning, I said that elite athletes should be aiming for 9 to 10 hours of sleep per night, with 80 to 90% of that occurring at night. But for the other 10 to 20%, that can occur during naps. When you do nap, we want to try and aim for a time between 20 to 90 minutes. Anything longer and you're just going to feel a little bit more fatigued. Anything shorter and you might not feel rested at all. We also don't want anything to compromise our ability to sleep later on at night. When you do nap, another little trick that Callum found is that you should try and nap before 3 p.m. Any later, then we're kind of affecting the rest of that sleep at night. Now, if naps are not your thing, here are some tips for creating better sleep hygiene at night, and I'm sure these things you will have heard before. We want to set some good habits before bed, so things that are going to bring our arousal down and get us ready for the night. These could be things like meditation, reading a book, putting your phone away, putting your laptop away as well. I mean, we want to do this because blue light that comes from the screens can negatively affect our circadian rhythms. So we really want to try and keep that technology away or outside of the bedroom. And I mean, I'm very guilty of this. Now, if you've got training at night or something like that, consistent bedtimes might be able to help you so that you can get into a routine and you know when you're going to be in bed and you know when you're going to try and sleep. Planning ahead can also really help, so make sure you pack your bag the night before for the next day. Oh, my feet hurt. Sorry, I have to move. You want to organize a ride back home. These things are super important so that we can just come home, shower, have some food or a shake, and then get straight into bed. No dilly-dallying. If you do have a really late night game, which I know is super common in a lot of different leagues, then having something like a protein shake instead of a full meal after the game could be a really good way to try and reduce digestional stress and to make sure that your sleep isn't affected by being bloated or any weird feelings like that. This is going to be pretty individual though, so you might have to play around with some things that work best for you. If you do have to travel for a game, taking a pillow or something that reminds you of home can be a really good way of creating a comfortable sleep environment that you feel safe in. Don't discount this tip, guys. It really could make the difference. It can be a great way to make new environments feel less stressful and make sure that you feel more comfortable and relaxed. If you're traveling to somewhere for a game or for a competition that has a different time zone, I want you to try and adjust to that time zone maybe like a week before. So you could start this by just slowly staying up a little bit later. But I mean, this requires buy-in from the whole team or from the whole atmosphere, from the coaches as well to push training back. So I understand if that tip isn't something that everybody can do. Another really cool tip that I'd never heard before is to try and have the ambient temperature somewhere between 17 to 22 degrees Celsius, as this apparently is the optimal temperature for sleep. I thought that was super interesting. I think that would be too cold for me, but I suppose not worrying about being sweaty or getting too hot at night could be really helpful. So maybe that's something that you could implement. And lastly, I know it's been all the rage within the fitness or wellness influencer space is that you should take melatonin or some sort of sleeping aid to improve your sleep. It is really, really important that as an athlete, guys, you do not self-medicate. You need to consult with your S&C coach if you're in a competition that's drug tested. You need to consult with your team doctor or your personal doctor before you take anything. training. You then also need to check the ingredients yourself on a website like Global-Dro so that you can be fully aware of what is going into your body. Because it's really not worth risking taking banned products when you can try and improve your sleep in all of those different other ways that I just mentioned. But yeah, that is it from me today, guys. I hope I gave you some new ideas as to how to improve your sleep, and I hope I highlighted a little bit about why sleep is so important. We want those happy building hormones. We need to sleep to improve our performance, and if it helps us make that extra gain or that extra push in training, why wouldn't we want to try and capitalize on it? It is an absolutely integral part of the training process that often gets overlooked, guys, so I don't want that to be you. I want you to get your sleep on. Let me know if you think of any tips or tricks, or if you have any that you'd like to share with others down below that help you sleep. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and as always, like and subscribe, guys, if you like this content. I will see you next time. Ciao.